Good day everyone, welcome to my new Pokemon Challenge series. In this challenge series, I'm going to be seeing if I can beat Pokemon Insurgence with the first 6 Pokemon that I encounter after every single gym. I've never exactly done a Pokemon challenge run before, so this will be a fairly new experience for me. I've seen plenty of challenge runs on YouTube and I thought to myself, why not try it out for myself? And I started to do just that. But then I thought, why don't I record it and then post it on YouTube? Which is what led to this video right here. So the rules for this run are fairly simple. First, I must play on hard mode. Second, I must capture the first 6 Pokemon that I encounter after every gym leader, and that will be my team until I beat the next gym leader. Exceptions can be made if I accidentally make a Pokemon faint, or Pokemon uses self-destruct. 3. I can use any items, exploits, or strategies that I choose to use for this run, except I just cannot switch my team. It has to be the same team from right after a gym till I beat the next one. And 4. Soft resetting is only allowed when I do not use any non-renewable items in battle. This is done just for the sake of saving time, simply because if you don't, you could end up wasting hours simply going back and forth between one battle and another. Unfortunately, I didn't actually think to record this series until after I'd already beaten the first gym and captured my second team. However, it did take me a whopping 15 hours of playtime in order to do that. Just a little symbol as to how hard this run exactly is going to be. My first team consisted of capturing 2 Nidoran females, a Nidoran male, Delta Charmander, which was my starter, Baltoy, and Weedle. Of course, they all evolved before the gym. I had 2 Nidorinas, 1 Nidoking, 1 Delta Charmeleon, a Baltoy, because it didn't evolve, and a Beedrill. As for my second team, the one you'll be seeing in this video, I've captured a Tentacool, Ralts, Kirlia, Mantike, Delta Grimer, and Delta Apom. After capturing these first 6 encounters, I knew immediately that I was going to struggle hard in this section of the game. Because of the hard mode level cap, I cannot level any of my team to over level 30, and 4 of my 6 members are weak to bug and poison type. And as you can probably guess, the next gym's type coverage includes bug and poison type. First order of business is to fully evolve all members of my team as much as I can. With the level cap, my evolutions consist of Tentacruel, 2 Gardevoirs, Mantike, of course, because it didn't evolve, Delta Grimer, didn't evolve again, couldn't reach the appropriate level, and a Delta Ambipom. Alright, it's early, but with full evolutions, let's give it a go with the next gym leader. Yeah, that didn't go so well. First off, he leads with a Delta Matang that uses Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and Poison Spikes. This ensured that I would never outspeed, and I would always open up poisoned. To make matters worse, Heracross, Gengar, and Beedrill are all capable of one-shotting my entire team. Needless to say, the first 20 attempts didn't go very well, and I quickly figured out that I was going to need to work a lot harder in order to pull this one off. The first order of business is to finish grinding my team to level 30. It's more than obvious that I'm not going to get through this without full power. However, even after taking more hours of grind sessions to pull this off, it still wasn't enough. It is going to take a little more than power to wiggle my way through this. I'm going to have to optimize a strategy. For starters, leading with Grimer, who can, with many super potions, slowly take out Matang. Where to go after that was another problem in itself. I could get to a point where I could consistently take out Heracross. The big problem was that following this, Beedrill always came out. Although Beedrill has very low defense, its attack is high enough to one-shot even my Grimer, who's not even weak to it. After more hours of attempts, it was clear that this wasn't working. I was at a loss and pretty much ready to give up. It almost seemed like it was going to be over so soon into the challenge, but no, not yet. Not in my first challenge run. It's way too early to stop. I started to think back on strategies that I used when I played through the game normally, and then I remembered that there was a customizable base that we're allowed to have. I was sure I could access a move relearner there, but it wasn't going to be cheap. Already short on money, it cost me $9,000 in order to buy the move relearner and the base. But to make matters even more agonizing, The relearner required a heart scale in order to teach one of my Pokemon their old moves. The solution? I'm gonna have to go back to the Midna mine and break rocks until one of the rocks drops a heart scale. After 2 hours of another kind of grind entirely, I finally had 5 heart scales to use, 3 of which to use on my Ambipom and Grimer. I have a feeling that I'm going to be coming back here frequently for this run. For Ambipom, I taught Memento, and for Grimer, I taught Harden and Magnitude. These moves are going to be critical. With these moves, I formed a highly precise plan that had to go exactly according to plan in order to succeed. It required Grimer to carry a lot of the weight. Essentially, my only remaining roadblock was Beedrill. I needed a way to reduce its attack in order to get past it. The thing is, if I get lucky, Beedrill will use Poison Jab, which is the only move it has that doesn't one-shot Ambipom, which means Ambipom has one chance to land one Memento, decreasing Beedrill's attack by 50%, giving Grimer, the only Pokemon who can still withstand more than one hit at this point, a chance to do what it needs to in order to win. Regardless, the battle was still up in the air because I am only one unlucky critical hit away from an unfortunate loss. Plus, Beedrill has to land one shot other than Poison Jab in order to take out Ambipom and still ruin my day. I'd been grinding almost 6 in-game hours to try and beat this gym leader alone, until it finally happened. A battle that I will never forget. First, I open with Delta Grimer and the leader opens with Delta Metang. I take advantage of this time to maximize on my evasiveness with Minimize and to maximize my defense with Harden. I play on the cusp of up and down health between being hit and using potions, but I slowly whittle Metang down until it's out. Xavier sends out Heracross, but with Grimer's maxed out defense and evasiveness, it doesn't stand a chance and it's an easy win. Although I would have gone down to a critical hit, and that did happen a few times. Next, Xavier goes on to throw out Tentacruel, who can still one-shot my Grimer with a water-type move, but it always starts out with Hex because of my maxed out stats. So I can hit it with one super effective Magnitude before switching out to Tentacruel, who will incur no damage because for some reason, his Tentacruel just can never hit my Tentacruel. I don't 100% understand why, that's just how it goes. My Tentacruel will absorb the poison spikes to eliminate that threat, so my Pokemon will no longer open up poisoned, and I take out Tentacruel with only one more poison jab. But this is where the real battle begins. It all comes down to this. The point where everything could fall apart. Beedrill. Beedrill is a one-shot on Tentacruel. I send out Ambipom. Here it is. The moment of truth. I select Memento. Beedrill uses Knockoff, a super effective move used several times before. There's no chance every time it's a one-hit KO, it's over. But by some miracle of all miracles, Ambipom survives the hit and I manage to get the Memento off with barely any HP remaining. Finally, weakened, Beedrill can no longer one-shot Grimer. So playing with potions, Minimize, and Harden, I get Grimer back to full stats and easily finish off the Beedrill. But what's crazy is it doesn't end here. Xavier sends out Krogunk, it's the weakest of all his Pokemon, and I take it out right away. Easy. But finally, the last Pokemon Xavier has, Gengar. Now this is where things get really crazy. Grimer can't hit Gengar with any moves, so there's no point in leaving him on. I send out Gardevoir number 1. Who can only survive one hit if Gengar uses Venoshock, and it does. I'm literally shivering with excitement at this point. Psychic is definitely a one-shot, and I get it off, but Gengar has a Focus Sash, and it survives. Gardevoir falls, and I send out the other Gardevoir, assuming that the same thing is going to happen, and I'm able to get one more hit in. But this time, somehow, Gardevoir gets one shot, leaving me with only my weakest Pokemon remaining, the most useless on my team, Mantike, and my other Pokemon who can't even land a single hit since Gengar has Levitate as its ability. It's over. There's no way Xavier is dumb enough to use the one attack that his Gengar has that won't take Mantike out. But it does, and somehow Mantike survives and lands one water pulse, finishing Gengar off and winning the battle. In shock, I could not believe that I managed to pull this off. Somehow it was possible. At so many points, I thought that this battle was over, but I managed to pull through. In the next video, I'm going to cover the capture of my next team and the defeat of Gym Leader 3. Along the way, there's a rival fight, as well as another fight against one of the cultist leaders. That's going to be interesting. I apologize if this video is a bit clunky. I'm just getting back into the swing of making YouTube videos again. But I thought I'd give it a try. It's a lot of fun to watch these videos on YouTube. I figured I'd make my own. Any advice to help me improve these videos would be great. And I hope to cover this entire journey up to defeating the Elite Four. It's going to be long and hard. The save file already has over 25 hours of playtime on it, and I've only beaten the first 2 gym leaders, so it's going to be a challenge, but I do love a good challenge. So thanks for watching, everyone who managed to stay through to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next video.